Happy, what night is this?
I think it's Thursday.
I'm blocking that. That just blocked
Oh,
that.
sorry. You
Hey,
said
what's-
it was over there.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Happy Thursday night. We're a little bit out of screen now. We're rocking on all of our platforms.
We got everything pulled up here. We're trying.
Hey, this is a real life, just Michael and Megan hanging out with you guys on a Thursday night. What's up, Aaron? Pastor Sam. You know, some of our kids are still awake, hanging out, doing their thing, and I guess we'll
got
find
a
out.
sleepover happening.
We'll find out if they'll
Upstairs.
join us. What's up, Nicole? Yeah, it's gonna be fun. And so we just were like, hey, you know what'd be fun if we just took some time on a night of the week and said hey to everybody. And I don't know if you guys have questions for us about anything in the world. You want to ask us any questions? We wanted to just make ourselves available to you all for that tonight and say, hey, we're here. And really, we just want to hang out for a few minutes with you guys. We miss seeing you in person, but at the same time, we do believe that this connection point that God is doing is good for us, and it's strengthening us and opportunity to strengthen our relationships all across the board. And so, yeah, we just want to say, hey.
Yeah, I've been thankful for the opportunities to be able to connect through all the different platforms, you know, to be able to be encouraged and to stay connected. And so it's been really a good thing that has happened.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
We're in our dining room. Megan painted it this like forest green a few months ago. Isn't it great? She got a wild hair, painted it green. It looks awesome. Our whole house was gray, so she painted green, so we have a green room now at home.
We have
That's
a
funny.
for real green
We have a
room. We're
green
shooting
room.
from the real green room.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
So how are you doing? So your life's totally changed, babe,
Yeah.
in the last
Yeah.
11 days. 5 kids home all day, every day.
All day, every day. And they want to eat all day, every day. Anybody else's kids eating all day, every single day?
What's
Like,
up, Andy
again?
and
You want
Barbara?
to eat again? All right. Let's do it again.
Yeah, so
Yeah, I
so-
think our youngest Griffin ate 5 oranges yesterday.
So other than
Well
feeding
done.
kids, why don't you share with us kind of how your life's been different?
It just kind of came like all of our life with 5 kids and church and everything, you know, it's really, really full of activity and movement and calendar and going, you know, places and getting people where they need to be and meeting with people and connecting. And then all of a sudden it just kind of all just screeched to a halt. And one by one, everything dropped off the calendar and we just had this clear space. And, you know, there's a lot of things that are really, really hard about that. It's definitely hard to be home with 5 kids all the time, but there actually has been a gift, honestly. There's been a lot of times over the last 6 months where I've said to myself, man, I wish I could just slow down for a minute. I wish I could just spend a little more intentional time with my kids. I need to slow down. I want to slow down. I'm desired to slow down a little bit with them just for some intentional time. And so I have really tried to. Kids are getting so much time together, and their relationships are growing. Their creativity is growing. They have so much more time to just be creative and be together. So I am really trying to just focus on the different ways instead of being like I can't be involved in everything because I'm home with my 5 kids, and really focused on making this the most stable possible time for them. You know, a lot of stuff in kids' lives right now is upside down, and so trying to just help them feel like this is a stable place for them, creating a schedule that they know what's coming because there's a lot of uncertainty. So keeping it somewhat predictable at home so they know what to do and know what's next.
Good.
But I can start to feel like I'm missing out on something else or unable to do some of the things that I used to do. And so rather than focusing on those things, I'm focusing on what I'm gaining.
Yeah, how are you guys doing with that? How are you doing focusing on what you get to do right now instead of what you don't get to do right now? You know, for me, I know I've been able to just work in my sweatpants until noon some days, which is...
He used to give me a hard time about that all the time.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden,
yeah,
we're in his sweatpants.
It's interesting. Not much when I leave the house, but we're getting out and about.
Hey, at least if you put on clean sweatpants, that's the rule. Just at
That's
least
right.
put on clean sweatpants by noon.
Still take a
Just
shower.
by noon.
We gotta take showers, still put on clean clothes. But it's different, but it can be so good. And I've been telling you guys in the morning, if you're watching this, you've been watching us in the morning every morning, just about the importance of getting a word from the Word and focusing on what finding joy in the Psalms and finding what God would say in that space. And so I think the evenings is kind of that same flow. We have to make sure before we go to sleep at night, we're finding that way to make sure we're lifting ourselves up and lifting our spirits up. So, I think that Megan's been doing a great job of staying calm and keeping that focused. And so hope you guys have been too. And I'm dying to know, I see maybe a couple questions coming through, but I'm dying to know if maybe what's working. What are you guys finding that's been really fun in the past? I got a Bible journaling is my new hobby. That's great. That's a good hobby
awesome.
to keep going. We should start. This is a great time to start new hobbies.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
New hobbies. I'm trying to work out every day, but that's not going great. So I'm trying to get into a better hobby of that. So, what else you got?
Oh, I just saw Marissa. I see you watching your ICU nurse. Thank you for
awesome.
the work that you're doing, and we're praying for you. And I saw it says you're sending your daughter away to keep her safe. I'm praying for you. That is a difficult decision to have to make, but we're praying you stay healthy through that. I've seen a couple comments come up about trying to work from home and have kids home who are homeschooling. I just want to encourage you. It does not have to be just like school. Do a little bit of time with the kids. Let them play. Let them do some fun crafts. And don't be too hard on yourself. Give yourself a lot of grace.
Yeah, some people are potty training. I see. That's fantastic. We'll hope that's the kids, not the adults. But if it's the adults that are getting new potty trained right now, that's great.
Good question, Christian. What fun at-home date night activities or conversations are y'all having?
That's a great question.
That's a great question.
I mean, our date night's been hampered. This is date night tonight. We're big proponents, as y'all know, for a weekly date night, and so it has been different because my parents often help us with our kids, and so we've just been kind of being careful with that with my kids around them and wanting to be smart about that. So this is our date night tonight.
This is our date night. Yeah, so it can be tempting, our kids can definitely request staying up late because they don't have to get up early for school, but we have been trying to not let them do that all the time. We've let them stay up and watch movies a few different nights, but for the most part, we're still having them go to bed on their regular schedule because that time for us to connect at the end of the day is so important. We don't have much time where there aren't children to stop, to talk about our day, to discuss what's going on, to, what are those conversations about?
I mean, we've had a ton of crazy things going in our life and just, personal things. Those of you know about, I lost my dad in the beginning of February and just, all of this happened. It's been a chaotic 6-7 weeks for us. For a variety of reasons. And so what we do that kind of works, we did it earlier tonight, is if we just get in the car and drive around with our kids in the back. I mean, there's a lot of yelling and screaming, but they're locked down in car seats. Well, I guess only 2 of them.
Seatbelts. They're wearing their seatbelts.
Yeah, I mean, they're buckled up.
Yeah, nobody's climbing on anything or running away. So
I mean, sometimes
they're somewhat contained, and so then we can talk.
But that works.
Conversation. But the other thing too that we've been really talking about every day is.
Way to go, Tim. Tim started reading since there's no hockey.
That's awesome.
I love that.
I know our family's really sad about sports
Missing
too.
Sports.
Our son really misses sports. We've been talking a lot about what is God saying to you? What did you read in the Word, and what is God speaking to you? Because we've both we need a word from God every single day. I need to hear what God's saying for me, for our family, for our church, for right now. I'm desperate for a word from God, and so Michael, same. And so a lot of our conversations have been around that.
Yeah, they have been. I think that we would encourage you with this tonight. We've probably heard God more clearly in the past week than I think we have in a while. And it doesn't mean that everything he says is always what you want to hear. And I think that's one of the really significant things of moments like this is even when you're drawing close to God, he says, draw near to him and he'll draw near to you. So we often draw near to God because we know what we want him to tell us, and we're hoping he'll tell us what we want. And sometimes he tells us what's best for us, even though it might not be what we wanted to hear in the moment. And so I would encourage everybody, I'm going to talk a little bit about it this weekend, but I would encourage everybody to make sure that you're drawing close and really believing that God will speak to your heart, that speak to your mind. I've never heard the audible voice of God personally, but just knowing, I asked him and I said, I'm focused on you. And he gave me the answer, even though it wasn't what I wanted. I would encourage you all to just really be believing God to speak to you right now. I think we're in a season right now that it's important.
Yeah.
The scripture says anybody who has ears to hear needs to hear what the Spirit of God is saying right now. And he's speaking. He's speaking to his church so loud. And
he's not speaking just to pastors. He speaks to all of us. Right. Every single person can hear from God. He'll reveal stuff to you in his word. Just this week, even reading scriptures that I've read before, little things jump out at me and they're applicable to our current situation. They're applicable to something in my personal life, something I've been praying about. Like he is speaking. He's speaking to all of us. I've been journaling. I've really started, I always journal, but really intentionally at the beginning of this year, I've been trying to write not just Bible journal.
Get through it in this moment, but to really believe that we're going to see God's hand work powerfully in this moment. And that's going to happen the more all of us believe that together. And I just want to encourage you all to believe God, maybe for bigger things right now. Don't just believe God to get us through this season. I think if we're not careful, that's how our thinking will be. Like, God, just get us through this moment, get us through this season. And the thing is, what if God wants to do greater things in this season than any of us have ever seen or imagined? And the only way we're going to do that is if we're